This is the show. Call it how I see it. And on today's episode, I got a couple of teams I want to talk to y'all about. First and foremost, I got my boy Glenn Pratt back in the house, and we're here to talk about the NFL free agency. Secondly, I got my boy Brando back in the house. And we're here to talk about the great legend of Jason Kelce. Thirdly, I got my boys Valo and Chuck McLovin back in the house to talk about who is the biggest competition to the Denver Nuggets coming out of the Western Conference. Stay tuned. It's finna be an action-packed episode. Buckle up. What up, bro? I got my boy. He's back on the show. It's Glenn Pratt.
Let's get it on. Here to call it how I say it.
That's right, G. And on this little take that we're about to get into, we're going to be talking about the NFL free agency as it's about to start up next week. All these players are going to start lining up, signing contracts. Some more than others, some worth it, and some not worth it. But time will tell. So, what you think, G?
Teams are going to start rolling the dice, seeing how they can fix their rosters with, cast-offs from other teams, whether it be salary related or it's just time for them to move on. You know how that happens. It's every year. Get those faces in new pieces. That what makes the season, that much more interesting when you see players in a different uniform. You know what I mean? It's always fun. Or, sometimes it hurts, but, part of sports, seeing somebody go somewhere else,
All part of the business, baby. It's all part of the business. You know what I mean? That's what we hear over and over. But in terms of a business aspect, the NFL's got us again. From last week, we talked about the combine. Now we're talking about free agency. The draft is going to be coming up. They got us on a yearly basis, man. They got us.
Don't stop.
No, it doesn't.
The ball keeps rolling.
That's why they make the billions and billions of dollars they do.
They got us.
In terms of money, too, this free agency is going to be different as there was a cap adjustment. More teams this year, they also had an increase in their cap salary. A lot of teams actually needed it from some of the numbers I was seeing. I end up in a negative, bro. Like how do you not, set yourself up to, be okay? You know what I mean? Oh, shit, fuck, we're in a negative. Now we can't afford you, bye-bye. You know what I mean? I don't know how that type of situation ends up happening. That's why I'm glad we have, Howie Roseman as an Eagles fan. At least he can, balance numbers out pretty well.
They say he's a cap manipulator, man. He's one of the best in the business, and it seems like he just knows how to do it. Other teams, you wonder who's running the teams. Who, I've heard my man, we about our and Levitar, and he at one time, there's a lot of bozos running teams. You know what I mean? Not every just because you're running the team doesn't make you the smartest. So you got a lot of guys out there who get taken advantage of, and it's just part of the business. Some guys are better at it than us.
I agree. Some guys know how to pull those certain strings, while other guys just sit there with the string in their hand, man. But it's pretty crazy.
Don't know what to do with it, right?
But, you got teams right now. You got, the top 5 teams in terms of cap salary. They're all over $70 million, right, in terms of cap, which is a lot. But the Patriots, they have $101 million. They say, bye-bye, Belichick. We're starting fresh. We got the money. We don't need you. So
Turn the page.
But those teams, we got, the Patriots, the Commanders, the Bears, the Titans, and the Colts. Some lower shelf type of teams. Colts were in a playoff type of run, but
that's the one thing that's about those teams. They all haven't done anything in a minute. You know what I mean?
No, they haven't. The Colts were on the cusp, but they just couldn't finish through.
They're the Colts.
They are the Colts. They're the Jim. As long as Jim Irsay is there, they're just the Colts.
Really, seriously. There's certain times where as successful as these guys are at this part of the business, they really are. I guess they've been around it their whole life, and they think they are the way out who they are. But I still think their decisions aren't the best. Jerry Jones is another who seems to, have a big say in what goes on, and at the same token, they haven't what we would say. See, people say he's successful because they're worth a lot of money. And that's one aspect of it.
Right.
But when it comes to the on-the-field product, the production doesn't match what they are. You know what I mean? So, or what people think they are. You know what I mean?
Nah, not at all, dude. They be lost sometimes. But that's why you pay these guys to do their job, man. It's not like, you have to dive in and, I want this player, I want this guy. Just schematically, you're throwing your whole team off and then just forcing issues that shouldn't be forced in that type of manner, which is crazy.
No, absolutely. Because there's a chemistry issue, too. There's not everybody. Look what happened with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson, the cap hit they're going to take letting him go, but they've pretty much seen it or felt as though they made the mistake, and they're ready to turn the page and say, we didn't get this right. It's time to move on.
We're good.
Right, exactly. We're good.
Here's the
Isn't that
check.
amazing? They're going to, I mean, they're going to 30-something million, 39 million or something.
Taking 85 million in total cap, and it's just like
Oh, right.
fucking crippling, bro. That's like sets your team back almost 2 years, bro. And then you got other young talent you got to resign, like Judy and these other guys and other rookies. Like Jonathan Simmons is gonna be a free agent
Right.
because you can't resign him because of this type of stuff. Just crazy. And you got Sertan. Like that situation is just what a mess.
Sean Payton's under. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl. He sort of is that coach that everybody thinks is the golden child.
Right.
And now he's going to be up against it starting from scratch. I mean, he had Breeze, and, once he brought Breeze in, they had a great run.
Right.
And how much of it was Peyton, how much of it was, I mean, it was a combination. I'll give him his credit. But now he's going to be starting from the bottom and see what he can do. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do in Denver.
No, I agree. That's definitely a big question mark. I mean, in terms of all these, there's a plethora of quarterbacks out there right now that could actually, I wouldn't say turn the knob on a team. Like Kirk Cousins, that's like number one, I would say, in terms of being like statistically consistent, having 4 Pro Bowls under his watch and stuff. But like he hasn't won a playoff game, so it's not like you know what I mean. And plus, he's coming off his Achilles injury, so like that's a big question mark as it is, and you don't really know what he's going to garnish in this type of market. You know what I'm saying?
He's the steadiest they get. I mean, he definitely. I mean, it seems like the word or the rumor is that Atlanta is the landing spot for him, and they got skill position players. I mean, Raheem Morris will be his first year.
Right.
See exactly, what kind of culture he sets up there. I mean, I guess Arthur Smith wasn't terrible, but he just wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? So
your Steelers are going to find out this year, Glenn.
Yeah, he's running the offense. I mean, we've been offensively challenged for years now. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll take a change of pace and see what he can do. I mean, bring up the Steelers. I think they're going to run quarterback play.
Yeah.
I think they're going to run it back with Kenny Pickett. That's the word. They're going to give him another shot.
I think so too. I know, and like as a Steelers fan, you're just like,
I'm done. Turn the page. I've seen enough of Pickett.
He's in that group of if he was to be in this free agency group, he's just like another guy. He's like a Tannehill. He's a bridge.
Oh,
he's like a bridge. He's like a
Absolute
Tannehill.
Backup.
He's a Tannehill, Russell Wilson.
Back in the day, you'd say, grab your hat and clipboard and get comfortable right over there, my man.
Nice
Hopefully,
spot.
we never have to use you.
Exactly. It's crazy, but he's just like you make this reference a lot. He's just another guy, man. He's not anybody special. He ain't gonna, he ain't changing anything. But
someone's got to play quarterback. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I mean, some guys are just better at it than others. He's just one of the ones who I see mediocre written all over, man.
I agree. I mean, like what we saw last year with him is not very, not very promising. But he's in that group. In terms of like running backs out there, there's a plethora of running backs that could be, worthy contracts. Because everybody nowadays, especially with running backs, it's like the most controversial contract, right? Like they don't know what to give a running back nowadays. Like a player like Saquon, very talented playmaker, still like I feel like he's been smarter the last couple of years in terms of preserving his body in a correcter manner, keeping healthy. But that's still a question mark. So like I don't know, like you give him like another 1-year deal, like a franchise tag type of deal on another team. Like it's just there's a lot of question marks. Another player like him is Josh Jacobs too, like a roller coaster ride of a type of career so far. Like where does this end up? It's interesting.
You have names out there. You're just wondering exactly how much teams are willing to pay and how much of a difference that position makes on a team. Don't get me wrong, having a good one seems to be necessary. Well,
yeah.
I don't know how necessary it is to have someone making a lot of money at that position. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
I mean, in this current NFL, I mean, back 20, 25 years ago, even longer, I'm going to say, I guess in the 80s, into the 90s, the running back position had a different value, it seemed. It seemed as though having that running back made the difference. Now it's all about the quarterback. It seems like these guys can go year by year with the running back. You can just plug the next guy in. The running back has a window of about, I want to say 4 to 6 years if you're lucky. And then you just got to hope you can hang on with a team, whether it be year to year. Somebody said Barkley could do something like a year-to-year thing because of the whole flux in the running back position and making money.
Right. I mean, I think a perfect fit for him would be Houston. That's just like, just throwing it out there. Like that would definitely like change the needle for them in terms of like their offense, especially with Stroud. He wouldn't have to do everything like he was doing in New York. But like that's just an example. A team like that could use him, or even Baltimore. Like teams like that. I think like another running back like Derrick Henry's out there. He's older, definitely not gonna get a big deal this time around. So like, but like the way Baltimore uses their running backs, I think that would be an ideal situation for him. Can preserve him,
absolutely,
batter him. Like he still has a skill set that's able to be used here. And like I think with the right situation, I think Baltimore would be the ideal situation for him. But we'll see.
Baltimore's definitely landing spot for one of these guys. Yeah. How much money they're going to make, how long they're going to sign, that's all up in the air, of course. But once somebody signs, I think everything else will just fall into place. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see who signs first and for how much, and then you'll have everything will fall into place. They were talking about a back like Swift.
Yeah.
As good as he is, he's going to end up just being a dude because of the market out there. You know, but I think Swift is a dynamic back. You know,
I agree 1,000%, and I also think the Eagles underutilized him last year because of concern of injury pass and everything. But if they really like those first 3 games, he was on fire. He set the league on fire, and then it's just let's throw the ball to AJ Brown. You know, it's crazy, but that's how that shaped out. So in terms on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, I was looking through some of the names, nothing really too crazy. Like as edge rushers, I only saw like Donnell Hunter, which he'll probably get like a big deal. He had 16.5 sacks last year. It's a pretty good year. Interior wise, there's definitely some guys in the trenches. Like you got Chris Jones, you got Leonard Williams. I personally want the Eagles to get this guy, Christian Wilkins. I think it would be perfect, like a guy to like fit in, take Fletcher Cox's role, big leader already in Miami. I think Miami's stupid to let him walk, but maybe they can work something out and get him back. I don't know, but I think he's hell of a player.
No, he definitely is the difference maker. It'll be interesting to see because Miami has let a few guys go, and it makes you wonder exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think, right, so he has ties to Fangio, right?
Yes, that would help too.
That's what people are talking about, for Philly.
I watched Hard Knocks this year. I mean, you only get like a small glimpse of a window of a team, but it seemed like, him and Fangs really got like along together. So I could see a fit there working no matter like what came out after Fangs left. But, as an Eagles fan, I could see some optimism in terms of bringing him in.
Right.
In terms of like, secondary stuff, there's really, there's just like guys like Stephon Gilmore.
Yes. Right, Snead got tagged.
Yeah, he was the big one. He was the big one.
Right.
And you never know. He still can move. There's still moves that can be made, But
even though they franchised them, they can move. Well, depending on what kind of tag they got, they can still negotiate throughout the process.
Right. But other than that, there is a good plethora of linebackers. They got the Seattle linebackers, Brooks, Bobby Wagner, Tampa Bay let their guys go, David and White. The Chiefs just, they got their guys are out in the pool right now. We'll see in terms of Willie Gay and Drew Tranquill. They played really big, bro. I don't think they would have won the Super Bowl if they didn't play as big as they did. So, those are factors, and that's what I'm trying to, the Eagles, I keep bringing up the Eagles because, I just, see players out there. But, we need linebackers, man. And, I see, these kinds of guys. These guys can help the situation that you guys put yourself in. I know it's, a new defensive scheme going from the 4-3 to the 3-4 and stuff like that. But, there's pieces out there that can fit. You just got to make, knit it to the right way where it can fit. So, but
people talk about the Eagles in the second level and the back end. I mean, the Eagles definitely have some
issues.
Some issues that they're going to have to address for sure.
Big holes, bro. That Tampa Bay game was brutal, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly.
It is what it is. But in terms of this free agency pool, I mean, there's definitely some interesting players. Even got Baker Mayfield still out there. He can. I mean, I think he showed a lot last year. I was really impressed. I thought he should have won comeback player of the year personally, but Flacco like this.
I was a Baker Mayfield guy when he came out. Me and my buddy, when we were talking about who was going to be making from that class, I actually said Baker. It looked like it got off to a good start, so it went off the rails for a minute.
Yeah. But, I think his issue was more fighting with Stefanski. I think they just didn't. It wasn't his guy, and it just didn't work. But I think in terms of skill set, he can thread the needle, man. He
seems like he can play. I'm with you. I want to say he can play. I guess
with the right pieces.
A lot of us do on another level for us to really buy into him being that guy.
Right.
I mean, or just to show up in prime time, show up when it matters. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Right, I agree 1,000%. But time will tell, and this is just another part of how the NFL is getting us, Glenn. Just sucking us in.
They keep reeling us in.
Just when we think we're out, they keep bringing us in, man.
It never ends, man.
But much love. I appreciate you coming by again. We're gonna be working on your show coming up.
Anytime you want me to call it how I see it, I'm always there, bro. That's what's up.
That's. And we're back. Yeah, that's right. And look who I have back on the show. My boy, Brando. Yeah, that's right.
What's up, Mr. Joffey?
I'm here, chilling, kind of bumming a little bit. You know why I'm bumming?
Really? Because you look pretty sharp right now.
Thank you. I got my Boardwalk Empire fit on.
No, you got your Moneyball outfit on.
You can go with
looking
that one
like
too.
Billy freaking Bean.
There you go. I mean, I'll go with that one too.
And Jonah Hill.
Hey, I like that movie. It was a good movie.
I actually just watched the other day.
All things aside, though.
It was good. It was good.
It was a good movie. Brad Pitt did his thing. But all things aside, we are here to commemorate a legend, a Philly legend, someone that I will tell my grandkids about. Talking about Jason Kelce, baby. What a career. 13 years, 6-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Possibly one of the best centers we've ever seen. Coming out of Cincinnati University. Undersized, 6th-round pick, but Andy Reid saw a lot in him and molded him, and so did Chip Kelly, and so did every other coach following him after. From Doug Peterson to Nick Sirianni. He has been there. He has been the staple of the Philadelphia Eagles. But, I mean, if you were to look at him on the street, he's just another guy. He's that guy you want to hang out at the barbecue. He's that guy you want to drink a beer with. He is that guy that will have his daughters wrapped around his neck and still be a great dad. Because he is that guy. A lot of respect and a lot of love for him on and off the field. He's a true role model, right? I would say so.
Good word. That's a good word.
Yes, I would definitely say so. I would say Cam Jurgens, even though he played right guard last year, but played center most of his career in Nebraska. He's got some big shoes to fill. However, from my understanding, it was Jason Kelce that handpicked that draft pick that the Eagles took Mr. Cam Jurgens. So this was already in the process before everything was set in stone. But, back to the guy that was wearing the green Rolex at his press conference. What a way to go out. And, what a way to go out on his own terms, too, because you don't have fucking Adam Schefter there being a little nosy little douche and reporting, oh, he's retiring, according to my sources. Yeah. Well, no, we're going to do it this way because this is the way it should be done. Right?
Yeah, that dude was kept from that for a reason, because he really does some dirtbally things, and he's really just a loser that could have something special for this guy and his family and city.
Well, I mean, the whole Andrew Luck thing with him was pretty bad.
Yeah,
that was
that was just I don't know. He just needs to stay away from things.
I guess in his situation, a guy like that, they just can't help him. They created a monster, but he's gonna leak information like that.
Yeah, they really did create a monster, though. But getting back to Kelce,
yes.
Talking about just how stand up he is, and just hearing how this dude who was the trainer 13 years, right, and he taped him up for every game, every practice, every pro, all of these events that were major moments in this dude's life, right, and he just always was a humble human with him. Right. And the dude goes in cancer, and they lose him, and he wasn't there, and this guy literally hits him up, and he's like, hey, you want to come tape me up last time for my retirement? The dude goes out, he's taped up. What type of human being does things like that? You know what I'm saying?
But it's really, like you said, what type of human being does that? He's really one of a kind. There's not many people that would do that professionally aspect, but it just shows his character, and it shows the connections he's made with people. He treats everyone with the same type of respect. You know what I mean? He doesn't look anyone beneath him. He doesn't look like anyone's better than him. He just, he treats everyone the way they should be treated. He really does that in every essence of the word. He's the kind of guy, man, you want to go to war with, honestly. He is that guy. If you're going to be on a troop or a saloon or some type of militia, that's the guy you want to have by your side. He's crazy in the head, but, he'll be the most loyal guy out. No matter how many times Jalen Hurts ran his shoulder into his ass and everything. It's just he's done everything that's been asked for him. And honestly, in terms of Eagles greats, he is on the Mount Rushmore. At least my Mount Rushmore. I would have him, Dawkins, Reggie White, and I give it to Nick Foles because he's the only quarterback that's won it. But Jason Kelce's up there, man. He's really up there. I don't think we'll ever see another Jason Kelce. I really don't. And but even going to his on-field work, just amazing. How he would get under people. Dude, he'd throw guys that are 340, 350 pounds and just do it off of leverage. You know what I mean? He's only 280 listed, but
he's the fastest center in NFL history.
Yes, he just, and if you look
he's
at the guy,
athletic, dude.
You look at the guy. I mean, but honestly, our screen game with Andy Reid and even the Chip Kelly years and Doug Peterson years, he has been there. He's been out there pulling. He's been out there doing every little thing to set up things. And in terms of like line adjustments and everything, he's just cerebral and like he takes it very serious. You know what I mean? Like when things don't go or set up the right way, you'll see him frustrated and get on his teammates about it. But that's a true leader,
Mhm.
and he is a true leader. You know what I mean? He wears that C on his chest like he should, and he means a lot, man. He really does. And I ain't gonna lie,
I agree.
I'm gonna try and find him out in Sea Isle this summer, bro. I'm gonna try. And if I see him, I'm gonna shake his hand and tell him every appreciative thing I can think, because he deserves it, man. He's that guy. But he deserves his time now. He deserves his time to be with his family, not bash his head into somebody else's head over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He deserves that time to rest and really be tranquil the rest of his
I
life.
agree.
He's earned it. He definitely has
I
earned it.
agree.
There won't be another one. And he's not like his fucking sellout brother either. You know what I mean? He's not having a fucking reality show. He's not out dating Taylor Swift or, he's just a down to earth guy. And he doesn't want any of that attention. He doesn't. So,
Yeah,
so
it's pretty funny. Like Kylie has become like her own like superstar herself.
yeah, like their story is very interesting as it is, meeting on Tinder and having what they have. But hey, they're
Dude,
happy.
I'm not gonna lie. You ever hear the story of the first time they went out?
Yeah, it was like a horrible date, right?
Yeah, like I forget who was it? It was the defensive end, Bo Allen.
Oh, the defensive
He had
tackle.
to
Yeah,
he had to throw Kelsey over his shoulder to get him home because he was pissed fucking drunk.
of course. He'd be that guy, bro.
First night, and Kelsey, and she stayed with him. Like,
But she's a real one. She
like,
recognized.
yeah, she saw that back. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, hey, it's a center bag. At that time, he wasn't getting that bag yet. But
No, not yet.
the last couple years, Howie has definitely taken care of him. So like he
Dude,
can
he's
relax.
been paid.
Yeah,
He's been paid.
I know he has been paid. Like you don't see numbers like he's been paid the last couple years with any type of center in NFL history, which is crazy.
And Jeff Saturday didn't get that.
No, he didn't. Jeff Saturday wished. That's why Jeff Saturday's on ESPN looking like a clown.
I know.
But this guy, he doesn't need to be
He wanted to be a coach.
right. Well, that didn't work out. But like
Yeah, how'd that go, buddy?
disastrous. Went back to ESPN. But like to Kelsey's aspect, he doesn't need to do TV. He doesn't need to do any of that shit. He can just fall back and chill. I mean, do his podcast with his brother, make appearances here and there. But overall, he doesn't. That doesn't make him be on some network and talking sports or talking football. It doesn't make who he is. You know what I mean? So if he wants to do it, he can. But he can.
But like, think about it. He can go into any restaurant in Philadelphia, and they'll give him food for free.
Anywhere in the tri-state area, like from Delaware to like eastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and everything, will be taken care of, and I'm sure he'll be having a great time in Seattle City this summer. So,
How do you know he will?
but overall, he is the dog. He is the true underdog, and he is, he was an enigma, man. He really was.
The freaking nature.
He was, and honestly, if he didn't take his level to the play he was, I think his brother wouldn't even be where he is either. You know what I mean? In some aspects, I think his play on the field helped propel his brother into the career his brother has now as well.
I agree.
Just in terms of work ethic and how they, conduct themselves.
Yeah, he's just like cut from a different cloth, old school.
Yes, they are. They're
in this new school game.
Yes, they are.
Know. So he will be missed.
Yeah, I know.
Forever and ever. He'll have a statue.
He will, and that man deserves a statue. He deserves a statue.
And he better be wearing the Batman mask
with his gut out and everything.
With his gut out.
Like I said, man, like I will always remember the parade, and I will always remember that speech, and I will always, and like I said, I will tell my grandkids about who this guy was.
He was so drunk.
I know, but he ain't fall over.
He was so drunk.
He ain't fall over though, so he's.
I know, it's pretty damn impressive.
But overall, man, shout out to you, Jason Kelce. We're gonna miss you, man, for sure.
Yeah, for real.
And we're back. And I got Joe Valo and I got Chuck McLovin back on the show. And we're here to talk basketball. Last week, I said that the Celtics were going to win the NBA championship. Last night, they suffered an embarrassing loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. My take is that the Celtics need home court advantage to play and make it to the NBA championship. But mind you, all that stuff in the Eastern Conference. What we're here to talk about is the Western Conference. And the reigning champs come from the Western Conference. Some believe, since they're still in good position, that the Nuggets can make it back to the finals. However, I'm not one of those people. I'm not. And I think that the West is loaded, And I think personally that the Los Angeles Clippers, if they stay healthy, are going to make it to the finals. But that's my take. I'm going to let you both jump in and say what you got to say. So who would like to go first?
I got the Suns.
You got the what?
I got the Phoenix Suns.
You have the Phoenix Suns.
The biggest threat to the Nuggets.
And why do you have the Suns as the biggest threat?
Well, for one, against the Nuggets, they physically got somebody to match up the Joker. Like last week, we were talking about. I'm talking about physically match up. Last week we were talking about the Celtics. The Celtics don't have anybody to physically match up the Joker. I'm not saying that Nurkic is going to defend him, lock him down, but physically he can match up. Like Team USA struggles against these other countries because these other countries have these large big men that can bang inside. And Joker is basically destroying the league because he's a big man that can bang inside, and there's not many of them in the NBA. But the Suns have somebody that can physically match up. For one, not saying that he's the most important piece, but they also have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Devin Booker is very underrated. A lot of the times against the Clippers have the best player on the Suns would have the best player on the floor against the Clippers, and arguably the second best player on the floor as well, with Devin Booker.
I don't think Devin Booker is better than Kawhi. That's my take, though.
It's debatable. At this point in their careers, it's debatable.
I don't think Devin Booker's underrated, though.
Yeah, I don't either, Chuck. I think you're absolutely right.
He's underrated.
Look at last night. They just beat the Suns without Devin Booker. The Suns beat the Nuggets without Devin Booker yesterday.
So you think the Suns,
They
huh?
also did give up a 20-point lead.
They almost did, and that's their problem. They give up a lot of leads, but at the same time, this is their first year together, and they're getting more and more cohesion together. So hopefully, everybody's argument for the Lakers is they can just turn it on like that, right? Well, the Suns are a team similar to the Lakers that got that same star power. They've only been playing together for a year. They've been injured all year, and they're getting more and more playing time together. So by the playoffs, maybe they can start clicking. I feel like that's going to be the Nuggets' biggest challenger coming out of the West.
But what happens if the Suns don't click? What happens then?
Then we got a Nets situation. I mean, that's an argument too. Basically,
but you know that's how it always goes, bro. When they all get on the same team, those first like the first year, maybe the second year too, like it's always like shaky at first.
It takes time for teams to click. That's why I think like the Clippers, like when they first started off, they were fucking ass.
The Clippers window is posing.
Hold on, the Clippers are the same argument. It takes time for a team to click.
Yeah, but look at them now. They've clicked.
The Suns been together longer than the Clippers, and they don't click. Every time they play a big game, they lose.
Who's that?
The Clippers.
That's not true.
Clippers are frauds.
The Clippers are not frauds.
Clippers are frauds. As long as you got, I've seen it last year with James Harden. James Harden's gonna give you 20, and then he's gonna shoot 4 or 14, 3 games in a row.
But James Harden doesn't have to do that this year. He doesn't have to take the workload or whatever.
He's gonna be a liability when he's shooting 4 of 13. He
Yeah.
had to do that last year.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to do that. You have Paul George and Kawhi. You have Norman Powell coming off the bench. They're and like back to your point about like having a big man. They have a European big man too named Zubac.
Zubac, yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Zubac and Nurkic are like in the same boat. If anything, Nurkic isn't even as good as Zubac offensively.
Arguably, I'm taking the Suns over the Clippers because, like I said, if it's the Suns versus the Clippers, I believe in any given game, in majority of the games, the Suns will have the best player and the second best player on the floor.
Yeah, but even if we go back to like
if it's playoff Kawhi, which I don't believe he has that level.
I think the Suns do have the best player. Like they do have.
And the second, arguably the second.
Maybe the second.
But I mean,
depends on how you look at it.
If you go back to when Kawhi was covering Kevin Durant in those Spurs and Warriors series, what happened?
I mean, Kawhi does that to everybody.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have the best player, right, in Kevin Durant, and you have a best defender out, then like he shuts him down.
Hold on, Kawhi was not shutting down KD. Remember what happened before KD got injured in the finals? He had like 30 at halftime, all on Kawhi. So Kawhi was not stopping KD.
Kawhi makes a difference, though.
I mean, he's a great defender.
Yes.
But against KD, there's not much you can do besides send a double team.
But KD's older though, bro. It's not like what he used to be either.
Kawhi, he's more of what he used to be than Kawhi is what he used to be.
I see Kawhi back in form right now, personally.
I just seen him play like that.
I see no drop off in KD's game.
I see him like a step slower, but in terms of his offensive game, he's still there. I won't lie. He still can make that shot that nobody could ever contest. Yeah, he still has
his
that.
numbers fell off at all. Have his numbers fell off at all?
I would have to look into the numbers deeply, which I haven't gotten the chance to. But
I bet his numbers are the same as his MVP year right now.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
He's averaging 28, 6.7, and 5.5. What year did he win the MVP?
He's just a stat patter, bro.
If anything, I feel like he should take more control of the game and pad his stats a little bit more, be more selfish, rather than playing such team ball. Last night, I was watching the game. I felt like I've always wondered why KD doesn't have all these 50-point games and 60-point games like James Harden did when he was in his prime and things. And KD's arguably the greatest scorer of all time. But I'm watching the game last night, and I'm noticing he's just going through the plays. Like, he's making the right play at all times instead of trying to take over. And he did go 1 for 8 for them to come back from that 20-point deficit. But at the same time, he wasn't being aggressive enough to take over the game. He was kind of just going through the plays. And I feel like that's why he doesn't get his 50, 60-point games, because he doesn't take over a lot. He always just makes the hockey assists.
Well, he doesn't have to do that at this point in his career anymore. That's why he's playing with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, who you didn't even mention either.
That's the thing, though, yesterday. They were up by 20. Booker was injured. The team was coming back. Beal had an off night. That's when KD should be the greatest scorer of all time and take over the game. He didn't really do that.
He kind of did. Like,
he's just making the right play.
The end of the fourth quarter and overtime.
He won 1 for 8 in the football.
But who's to say he's going to do that in the playoffs?
Like, he made the 3 to send it to overtime.
Yeah, he could do that.
And then I think he had like 2 more threes in overtime to help win it.
Like, he did at the end, but I'm saying, like, to get back into the game, he was just like, I felt like he should have been more aggressive rather than making the right play all the time.
And that's what's come over time with him, I think. But like I said, like you said too, like they're a new team. They're still figuring things out, and they haven't been fully healthy because of Beal. So they're still trying to figure out who works with what and what spacing on the floor covers best for them to succeed. But like, I don't know, bro. I'm just not sold on them. I'm not.
Why are you sold on the Clippers? What's your argument for the Clippers? I want to hear this.
Because I just think they're really deep. I do think Harden has a role now where he doesn't have to be the main option. He can be the facilitator like he was doing somewhat in Philly. And
not to cut you off, but let's be honest. He wasn't the first option last year in Philly.
No, he wasn't.
And he really wasn't the second option either. On a lot of the times that we won, Harden went 4 of 13. He was the 4th leading scorer after Maxey and Harris.
What he does is when things don't go his way, he gives up. And when he gives up, he starts to facilitate the ball around. But like when things are going his way, that's just a bonus for that team to succeed and really get on a run. And that's been going on a lot this year. A lot of his numbers, he's still I don't know his average by exact, but from what I've seen when they've been winning games, even when they had that winning streak, there was a lot of games where he did put up 25, 28 points and just did what he had to do and still facilitate the ball very well. And when you have, you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard along there, and then Russell Westbrook, who just broke his hand and he'll be back. But like overall, that meshes very well. And Ty Lue, who does not get enough credit as it is, he has them playing really good ball. So that's why I believe that they have a good chance to make a run in the finals.
Go ahead, Chuck, and then I'll say what I...
Yes, Chuck. Who do you think has a chance to dethrone the Nuggets?
Oh, it's hard to choose, man.
The West is deep, bro. It is.
It's hard to choose because it's like a lot of teams have, like, they're capable of doing it. It's just that they don't have, like, I feel like these teams they just don't have enough, whether it's personnel or
experience. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Dallas, like
Dallas, OKC, yeah, Minnesota.
OKC, Minnesota, Sacramento.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those type of teams.
It's like a crap.
It's hard to not say Suns, bro. Like, as far as just like heavy star power.
But yeah, they had the star.
The Clippers too. Like, that's the thing. The Clippers can be mad because they should have been like in the mix. Like,
yeah.
That's like they don't stay healthy. That's what.
That is the key.
You know what I mean? Like it should be them two. Like it should be.
Look, this
Clippers Denver. Like Clippers Denver.
This is what I don't like about,
and all that shit.
This is what I don't like about the Clippers, right? You mentioned Russell Westbrook, and you also mentioned James Harden.
Right.
Leave it at that. That's why I don't trust the Clippers. That's why I do not trust the Clippers.
But they be playing at different times of the game, even like I'm saying, using Norman Powell. Norman Powell could be 6th man of the year, bro. He's really good. I wish the Sixers would have got him, honestly, because he's a really good option to have out there. But yes, you're right. The history of Westbrook and Harden is very questionable, especially in the playoffs. So
they're not winning players. They're proving it. When are we gonna believe it? And Paul George doesn't have a good playoff track record
It's
either.
only Kawhi.
Well,
And
Kawhi.
that's
Yeah, it is only Kawhi.
It's more Kawhi, and he hasn't been healthy.
No, he hasn't, and that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest if, and I know that.
But see, that's the thing. Like, we keep hoping and wishing like they all stay healthy when it's like it just don't happen that way all the time. You know what I mean? You have to be very fortunate for your team to like really stay healthy the whole year.
The idea of the Clippers now, they've invested so much over the years, giving up Shea Alexander, all the fucking first round picks that they've given up. So when is it going to work? And yes, health has always been the issue with them. But if you really look at it, I mean, other than Westbrook, I mean, they've been healthy this year. They've been complete. And Ty Lue has been using them and their minutes correctly, I believe. Even putting other people in to like use as role players like Terrence Mann and covering up minutes and stuff and mopping up minutes. It's worked out for them. I think Ty Lue is taking them in the right direction. And Ty Lue's won. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Frank Vogel hasn't won either, but like it helps. It helps.
I'm saying if the Clippers' time is not now, then when is it going to be?
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Like it's literally like the window is closing, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Seeing like these other teams, they're building like
Remember last year, if the Clippers don't win it this year,
it's over.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're gonna win it this year. They don't have experience together. They don't have. Look, we're saying that they're healthy. Paul George ain't playing right now, is he?
He is.
Is
I thought
he?
he was hurt.
I thought he was hurt too.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he came back.
It's like only like one out of four.
Yeah, somebody's always not playing. Russell Westbrook's not playing right now.
Well, he broke his hand, but he's gonna be back before the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay, now when he gets back, somebody else is gonna Harden's gonna tweak his hamstring or something, right?
I don't think so. I think they'll be ready. I think they'll be healthy, and we'll see.
The Suns too now. They haven't been as healthy either. Bradley Beal been hurt. Devin Booker hurt now. So it's like.
See, the thing I like about the Suns, right? The Clippers have PJ Tucker, but PJ Tucker's not playing. They don't have anybody to do the dirty work. They got Zubac, maybe, but how much dirty work can he do? He's the only guy on the offense or on the starting lineup that can do dirty work.
Well,
I can't think of nobody else that they got to do dirty work.
They got Mason Plumlee and there's somebody else they have. I forget. It's kind of like a role player, but I mean, I'm not saying that's not the reason.
I feel like the Suns got people to do the dirty work. They got Royce O'Neal, Nazir Little, Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen leads the league in 3-point percentage.
Grayson Allen's having a good year.
Bobo, if you ever need a maybe Bobo can get a mismatch in the playoffs. You never know.
They never use him though.
But he's a mismatch that you can maybe use in the playoffs for mismatch.
But in terms of star power, who has more star power?
The Clippers. No, the Suns.
How? I mean, you have like 3 compared to what? 4 or 5 guys?
Who is it for? They got one guy over there.
Who was it? Kawhi, Paul George,
James Harden.
Who's an all-star over there?
Huh?
So who's an
Who's an all-star right now over there?
Nobody from their team this year made it. Oh, actually, Paul George made it.
Okay, Kawhi should have made it.
Yeah,
so they got 2. James Harden is not an all-star anymore. Neither is Russell Westbrook.
Well, I would say the same about Bradley Beal. He's in that same boat.
Kevin Durant is an all-star starter, and Devin Booker could be as well.
It kind of evens out, kind of. But we will see. I know that the Clippers have a better record right now. So I mean, in terms of seeding, it might work out better for the Clippers in the long run anyway.
The Clippers would have to play the Pelicans right now if the playoffs started today,
Right.
and the Suns would have to play the Nuggets.
Which is what we're talking about right now. So
The Nuggets are one game back in the first seed, so this is probably all gonna.
there isn't really much leeway there. But I mean, if they do match up first round, do you is there any chance?
Whoever wins that game, whoever wins that series will win the West, I believe.
Okay, I can kind of go off of that, but time will tell. I don't. Who knows? Not us. We're not experts, even though I'm wearing a suit. But time will tell, and we'll really see. But I hear your argument. I respect your argument. But I just think the Clippers are a better team.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.